Hi everyone, I'm Ahmed Al Khalifat and I'm research fellow at King's College London. And today I will be talking about Trans-Ancestral Genetic Working Group, part of Project Mine. Project Mine was founded by these three brilliant individuals with ALS, with vision to harness the power of genomics to find a cure for ALS. So far, we reached the 50% of our target with over 10,000 whole genome sequence. Project Mine design is very smart, so we have 10,000 whole genome sequence, but also we have matching methylation history for each individual and deep phenotypic data or clinical data. Multiple countries joined Project Mine. Huge effort was put to expand this important project, and this is the global state. You can see Project Mine with Owen is expanding, and however you can notice there's still more effort is needed to include multiple countries. We have, for this reason, we decided to create a trans-ancestral working group to diversify research in ALS. 96% of ALS genetic studies are done on people with European ancestry, and so far this approach was successful to find important genes. However, to tackle the entire disease, we will need different approach. For this reason, we created this working group. I just want to point out that lack of diversity or limited diversity in Project Mine is not limited to this consortium. If we look at the Genome-Wide Association catalog, we will see that most of the genomic studies are done on European, about 78%. The second ethnicity is Asian, with around 10%. For this reason, you can see different ethnicity require different approaches. I like this graph was created by Professor Philip Van Dam, where he shows that the gene hunting and how with every gene we know more about the disease. So with every gene we discover, it becomes harder to find the next gene. And however, with every gene we discover, the big picture becomes more complete and we can understand the relationship between these genes. Little bit more information about the working group. Our aims are to diversify genetic research in ALS by including multi-ethnic population, raise awareness of this important topic. However, diversity is not limited to data. Diversity should also reach researchers working in ALS and those understudied, underfunded population. So for this, we aim to work workshop, write reviews, and also, most importantly, to establish a network of ALS researchers interested in this important topic. Project Mine is also diverse with limitation. So I'm a big fan of utilizing existing resources. So part of Project Mine, we have Israel, we have Turkey, and Malta. So we decided to create phase one, which to focus on Middle East and perform a separate analysis. Malta is a country in European Union. However, genetically they are unique. They are the only Semitic-speaking nation part of a European Union, and genetically they are diverse, mostly coming from North Africa and Middle East. In phase one, we are going to follow similar pattern of research like in Project Mine. We are going to focus on genomics and also epigenetics, where we study the effects of environment as a proxy on genome, and also clinical data. What's so unique for example, what we see earlier age of onset in Africa and also in India, different site of onset, also progression rate. We are lucky to have multiple tools available for us that have been created previously and been validated as a part of Project Mine. In genomics, we have multiple bioinformatics tool that is available for us, just like repeat expansion hunter to measure repeat expansion in important gene, just like C9 or Ataxin. And also we are going to focus on structural variation and also create a specific polygenic score for each ethnicity or a continent that we are studying. For example, Middle East, we'll try to create a polygenic score focus on this, Africa, Asia. And this is really important. We are living in the gene therapy era, and it's very important to see if this gene therapy is applicable for everyone. In epigenetic studies, it's led by Professor Jonathan Menn, and he's agreed to help the working group with resources to deliver this task. It's really important to see what's so different between a nation or ethnicity in regards to methylation or environmental factors. The most important thing is we are focusing on increasing the sample size. There are multiple methods available for us. Each country is unique. There are quite different approaches. One of these approaches is differentiating between identity and ancestry, and not necessarily what you identify yourself is actually your ancestry. So we are going to harness this method and go back to Project Mine data and study ancestry for each individual. This is my genome, and I thought I'm mostly from Jordan. I'm still from Middle East, but it's more Lebanese and Syrian than Jordanian. So we are going to employ this similar approach when studying ALS and Project Mine, rather than taking a homogeneous group. And in this phase, we are going to focus on outliers, what's so unique about each individual. There are different data sets available everywhere, and that will require like the effort of reaching out to clinicians, hospitals. So please, if you have, if there is any data available, you could help us, the working group, please get in touch. We are keen to work with everyone. Now, the new members in the Project Mine Trans-Ancestral Working Group is in Malaysia. The Malaysian group is led by Professor Nurtina and Dr. Alzina, and also Professor Marina. It's a very active working group. So far, 15 whole genome sequences been ready for analysis. We are at King's, we are working together to provide some bioinformatics support. It's a pleasure working with the whole team, and 122 DNA are ready for sequencing. The second country is India. I would say I would treat India as a continent with over 1.5 billion people, and it is really fantastic to have their support. So we created, or helped created the India Association Network for ALS Genomics, spearheaded by Dr. Shayama and also Dr. Muhammad Farouk. The whole thing started with India. So a patient from India reached out to me, and we started talking. and the conversation was easy, and it put me in touch with Muhammad and Dr. Interestingly, Dr. Shayama. She is also a clinician and also someone living with ALS. So in this network, we are aiming to create a ALS patient registry at King's. We need the UK register, so we could help each other in achieving this task. We're also trying to help in providing bioinformatics support, tailoring the tools for this specific task. Summarize the frequency and mutation that we observe in India. We are so lucky also to have many collaborators in India in multiple important cities and research centers. And so far, what they call a small number is now become 2,500 samples already for sequencing. I have to point out that, as you can see, different countries quite different resources. In India, a country could deliver, have a lot of potential, and could recruit people with ALS in this part of studies so quickly and easily. And this is not necessarily applicable for everyone. The third country is Ethiopia, which is one of the biggest East African countries with over 120 million people. The Ethiopian team, led by Dr. Hannah, and she is based on Addis Ababa University, and she's the head of the Department of Neurology. She's also the current president of Neurologists Association in Ethiopia. The Ethiopian team are very organized with a clear task, and so far we've been working closely with them. The fourth country is Senegal. It's a West African country, and we are lucky to have Dr. Pedro Cruz, who is a clinician, also a scientist from Spain, and now he is living in Dakar. For this, we decided to apply for funding, and we submitted multiple grants, and we created the project Tag Africa. For this, we applied for African Union to help us with the clinical failure type in ALS in Ethiopia. The second application was to focus on trans-ancestral genomics in Africa, and we thought it's important to fund PhD students to create next generation researchers. However, also it's important to have the support of clinical fellows in Africa. Those people speak the language, could communicate the aims of these projects easily and gain the trust. Also including some biomarker work to part of this, and deep phenotyping. Also, we created a workshop with the Senegalese Neurological Society in April 2022, where we spoke about the project, which was very useful. In summary, we are trying to reach out to understudied, underfunded populations, all the marginalized ethnicities, and to try to bring some support. We are so lucky to have have access to multiple tools that might not be useful, accessible for everyone. For this reason, we are extending the hand and trying to help as much as possible. I'm from one of the countries that in the gray area, and I'm lucky to lead this working group, and I will continue working on this because it's really important to, and it's important study also to understand less. Thanks to our funders, especially MNDA and also ALS Association. Thank you very much.